Politics in Britain has always been a chess game, and at this moment, the pieces on the board are moving in ways that could change the future of the nation. But this isn't just about the usual parliamentary battles between rival parties. It's about an unlikely threat emerging from the very institution that's supposed to stand above it all, the monarchy. As Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party and potential future Prime Minister, charts his course toward an electoral victory, a new and unexpected obstacle has appeared on the horizon: King Charles III. This development has left political insiders and the public grappling with one unignorable question: is Starmer's path to number 10 being subtly but decisively undermined by the monarchy itself? Let's make one thing clear from the outset. This is not about monarchy versus democracy. The British monarchy, while largely ceremonial in modern times, has always had a certain pull behind the scenes. It may be a relic of history, but it still wields a quiet influence in the halls of power. King Charles, unlike his predecessors, has always been more outspoken, more engaged, and more willing to voice opinions on matters ranging from climate change to architecture. However, the trajectory of his reign was supposed to be more measured, more subdued. This expectation is now being shaken by reports of his behind-the-scenes interventions with key government officials, interventions that could very well affect Keir Starmer's political trajectory. Historically, the monarchy has been an institution that steps back from the fray of daily politics. Queen Elizabeth II mastered the art of discretion, influencing her prime ministers with a quiet authority that left little room for overt interference. Yet, there are whispers that King Charles is operating with a slightly different approach. While the details of his private discussions with ministers are just that, private, rumors persist that his concerns align more with conservative policy ideals than with the economic vision championed by Labour. If true, these concerns could undermine Starmer's carefully cultivated image of a moderate, business-friendly leader, especially on crucial issues like taxation, business regulation, and environmental policies. This situation presents an unprecedented dilemma for Starmer. Labour has, in recent years, worked tirelessly to shed its radical image. Starmer has painted himself as the pragmatist, the steady hand at the helm, capable of leading the country through difficult economic times. Yet now, at a critical juncture in the run-up to the next election, it's not just conservative politicians who are questioning his economic agenda, it's the very institution that symbolizes the stability of the nation itself. Whether King Charles is intentionally influencing public discourse is beside the point. The mere perception that the monarchy might favor a different approach to economic policy puts Starmer in a precarious position. Here's the crux of the issue: perception in politics is often just as powerful as reality. Public opinion is easily shaped, and it can be easily manipulated. In a time of economic uncertainty, if voters come to believe that even the monarch has doubts about Starmer's economic vision, it will plant seeds of doubt in the electorate's mind. And this is where the political game turns savage. Keir Starmer now has to decide whether he will continue to push forward with his economic policies, possibly alienating royal sympathizers, or if he will start shifting his positions to avoid the growing whispers of royal discontent. Either path carries risks, and neither can be taken lightly. From the Conservative camp, voices have already begun to raise concerns. If the king is reportedly uneasy about Labour's economic plans, they argue, perhaps voters should be too. This is a narrative that could swiftly gain traction among the public, particularly in swing constituencies, where every scrap of doubt counts. Should Starmer ignore these whispers or counter them with a hard-edged response, he runs the risk of appearing like a man under siege. The worst thing a leader can appear to be is unsure of their own direction. If Starmer is seen as defensive or hesitant, it could irreparably damage his standing with the public. The stakes have never been higher. Starmer's position as the leader of the Labour Party is on the line. His response to this developing crisis could set the tone for his entire political future. His camp has to walk a fine line. They cannot appear to be kowtowing to royal influence, but neither can they dismiss it outright, as doing so risks alienating key voter blocs who are quietly, and increasingly, aligned with the monarchy's conservative leanings. The danger is real, and it is mounting. Yet, let's not be naive. This isn't merely about King Charles. This is about the broader political landscape in Britain. It's about what the public wants from its leadership. If Starmer can deftly navigate these turbulent waters, managing the monarchy's perceived concerns while maintaining his message of stability, he might come out the other side with his political capital intact. But this is a high-stakes game, and the odds are stacked against him. The narrative is shifting, and it's increasingly unclear whether Starmer can continue to play the game on his terms. The British public is watching, and they are starting to ask the hard questions. How much influence does the monarchy really have in the decision-making processes that shape our nation's future? Is King Charles's quiet involvement in these discussions an overstep, or is it a necessary counterpoint to an ever-evolving political landscape? As this drama unfolds, one thing is certain: Keir Starmer's leadership will never be the same. The next few months could determine not just his fate, but the fate of the Labour Party itself. It's no longer just about who has the most compelling vision for the future. It's about who can survive the storm that is swirling around the monarchy's unexpected interference.